I'll give him a little surgery on Thursday. Anyway, vote? You want to vote? Okay. Let's read them first, and then I'll let you vote. So here's our options for what to say about our feelings about Mr. Claire. So she asked, and how do you like Mr. Claire? So we can say, I didn't. Or, he's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. Everett Clare is a hero of the workers' movement. He is the champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. I didn't think he was a socialist, but whatever. He's not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. Alright, feel free to vote, chat. I don't really know what I want to say on this one. You get moose instead. Just, mooses instead of mises. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. That's what we're gonna say? Demeet, did you vote on this? Is this you, Demeet? Fine. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just.
Just? In what way?
It really is. I wish you could make it like 30 seconds. Yeah. That's why I usually like chat a bunch before I do the vote, just so people can have like a chance to kind of like sort it out. But yeah, 15 seconds goes very quickly, especially with the delay. So sorry, Mac. In a funky socialist way, he looks out for the people. In a nice, crunchy, white working class way, of course. Or, yeah, he's not actually just, is he? He's useless. You get a cranky professor who is head of the lab and a couple other PhD students and a short walk to the uni kitchen. Well, that's not too bad. The cranky professor is not so great. I'm very relieved. My, oh, Chef Kitty, you also voted. I'm very relieved. My supervisors for both my labs, knock on wood, have been very, very kind. Especially in comparison to like what I've heard from some other like supervisors in other departments and things. So I'm like, I didn't really quite like realize that until I was talking to some people outside my department the last month, and I was like, oh, my supervisor's actually pretty cool. Thank you for the follow-up, Pink Frost. Good to have you here. He's just cranky in the morning. He has a bad leg. I give it. That's fair then. Okay, how am I going to respond to Joyce's just in what way? He did not strike me as a socialist. Maybe I'm misremembering our conversation, but he was not a socialist? You want to vote again? Okay, I'll allow a vote. Because Demeet did the cute emote, so I'll allow a vote, I guess. I'm being very generous today. I don't know why. But, okay, so our choices are, yeah, I'm going to say this slowly, so if Mac, if you want to vote, I'm going to try to, like, give time. Fuck you, Hippofont. But you're probably right, actually. So we can answer number 1, in a funky socialist way. He looks out for the people. Number 2, in a nice, crunchy, white working class way, of course. Or number 3, yeah, he's not actually just, is he? He's useless. So those are your choices. It goes very, very quickly. So as soon as you have the opportunity to vote, feel free to vote. I'm going to activate it now. And that means it's probably only now activating. But vote, vote, vote. Whatever you want. Vote, vote, vote. You guys keep voting for like things I'm like, I don't think it's this. Like, I don't think he's a socialist. But I guess we're going socialist then. People have spoken.
Of course. Some of them, at least. The ones who work for him. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? No, wait. Actually,
Max fucking velocity. I was gonna say I thought you maybe would pick the crunchy one because like crunchy is tasty, but well sometimes not so tasty, but a month to get to 5 p.m. day 2 is great. Look, whose fault is that?
corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic. Verm-like. Corruption.
Like.
Reaching into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods. You're in a dancing mood? Wow. Aren't you at the dentist, Chef Kitty? Or was it later today? Are you dancing at the dentist? I wouldn't judge.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
Verm.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
She smiles. Ma'am, I was just checking. I still don't have any alerts about my package being delivered. It's getting a little later. Makes me a little annoyed. Makes me a little sad. A little upset. Want my package. Maybe soon. Maybe. Maybe never. Maybe it's gone. But the one they're supposed to like hand it to me. The camera, I think they're supposed to hand it to me. Although last time Yamamoto did not. They just left. When I ordered my key light, they just left it on my doorstep, which was a little frustrating. But ooh yeah, Chef Kitty, you weren't here. I got a new camera. I got a new streaming camera, so I'm very excited. It's supposed to arrive today, but I have nothing yet, and it's almost 6 p.m. So it's getting a little late. I'm getting a little concerned. I know sometimes they drop it off around like 7 or 8 p.m. But yeah, I'm very excited. So yeah, maybe that's why, because Circa's having to deliver it from Los Angeles, and is swimming her way over here now. It's quite a bit, but Circa's very strong. Yeah, Circa helped me pick it out, and Circa also gave a very generous donation towards it, which helped. Also, selling my house made me feel much more comfortable being okay buying something kind of frivolous like that, but I gotta be careful.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
I also have a question for chat. Sorry, I'm very much not progressing today, am I? She'll like you for it. Has anyone read Gaudy Night? It's a mystery book. I've been reading it lately, and I so far I'm really liking it. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but I was just curious if anyone else has read it. But you had a couple games stolen recently that you were having to. Yeah, look here. It's much less like common. I say that I'm totally setting myself up for this to be stolen. I have had though where they deliver it to the wrong apartment, and they just mark it as delivered, and there's like no. It's just kind of like, well, that's that. Like they don't let you dispute it because they'll be like, oh, I put it in the mail slot, and that's just the end of it. So it's like, well, it didn't go through my mail slot, so I don't know what mail slot you put it in. Yeah, it's good so far. Gaudy Night. It's a high intellectual read. Like there are parts where they quote Greek and Latin and French, no translations provided. The Greek was the one that really shocked me. I was like, I can't read Greek. Latin and French I can work my way through, but the Greek I was like, oh. Because it's set in like Oxford, so it's like a bunch of maybe that's why I dress like this. Maybe I'm like channeling this book today, but very, very high intellectual people, and they just kind of like say stuff like that all the time. But it is like, it's kind of something, it has a plot line that I sort of relate to in some ways, because it deals with like women in academia, especially in that time period. But I think a lot of the things they touch on are still kind of like truthful today, in terms of just like general like feelings and thoughts about it. Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. I'll say it, whatever.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
Yep.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling.
Oh, I made Kim upset. I had a feeling that wasn't going to go well by Kim, but
He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
I just thought maybe she would have something to say about it.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Yeah.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
Just repeat, Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. Oh my gosh, he did. I'm so embarrassed. Why am I so embarrassed for a video game where I'm like, oh, he had to like cover for us, and I'm so so ashamed. Yeah, you might like it, Chef Kitty. Like I said, I haven't finished it, so like as far as like if it ties itself up well, but so far I am enjoying it quite a bit. And for anyone who's like, especially like a woman who's in like the academic fields, high academic fields, it's kind of an interesting thought exercise in many ways. But I like that. I might pick up. Apparently, this detective is like the detective's Peter Wimsley. I've never heard of him, but apparently it's like a series. But this is like the most highly reviewed of like the series. So that's why I started with this one, but I kind of like it, so I might look up some of the others in the series, but I kind of worry if this is like the best one. Maybe I like it's all downhill from here, but my pant leg became unrolled. Alright, Jimmy, I actually do kind of want to just repeat it, sadly. So Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun.
Yes. As you said.
She looks confused for a moment.
Please don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever. Ask him to say something else, please.
I adore Kim. They never gave tracking and never refunded you. One of them was stolen by a neighbor, and they ended up stealing the replacement they sent. They already had the first game in the Dum-Dums used in an Amazon package container with their name and address. Put your replacement game in it and left it your door open. So I guess they just realized since like I was gonna say like how did you figure out it was your neighbor's, but because it had their name and address. Dumb. So dumb. That's well, at least they were nice enough to be like, oh, we already stole this one, we don't need another one. But what twats. Yeah, it was really common where I used to live, like to the point where I started, if I had something really important, I delivered it to my work, because it was just so common, and like people didn't care if you had a camera. Like I had a security camera that was like very obvious. People didn't care; they would just walk up and take it. But also like the UPS drivers and the FedEx drivers and stuff. Mostly I had trouble with UPS. FedEx, I don't remember too many issues. They would just not deliver stuff and report it as like they tried to deliver and things like that. And I'd be like, I have footage and there is no point where you tried to deliver anything. Or like I was home and you put this note on my door, like, but I was home. Yeah, so that was like not bad for me. I got a free rug out of it. But I felt bad for the person who ordered it. So the company misdelivered the rug to me. And it was this huge rug, like just left it on my porch. And so I brought it inside just because it was like outdoors and I didn't want it to get like rained on and wet and stuff. Cause even though it was like sealed, I was like, I don't know. And the person it was supposed to be delivered to was like 2 or 3 blocks away. And so I contacted, the company that had shipped it or tried to or delivered it, and I was like, you've got the wrong address, this is the wrong thing, like what do you want to do? And they basically were just like, oh, you have to contact the like original company they bought from, And so I contacted the original company they bought from, and that company was like, you need to contact the delivery service company. So I got into this, like, speaking of loops, I got into this loop. So I tried one more time to contact the delivery company, and I was like, look, they said I need to contact you. Like, what do you want to do? I can't, my car at that time, I did not have a big car, so I couldn't drive it over. I would have had to, like, drag this rug to their house, which I was like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. And so I like tried to contact them again, and they basically were just like, forget it. They like just told me like they weren't going to do anything about it. So I was like, okay, but I like did email the original company they shipped from, and I was like, this is like, it has like an order number on it, but I just want to let you know, like, this is not the right house, but I can't get it to the original people. Like, you should reach out to them and try to refund them, was like basically what I ended up doing. Because I was like, I felt bad about it, but I was like, I don't want to walk like lug this heavy rug by myself like 3 blocks to some random person's house, because then it's gonna look like I also stole it. But it was just, I was like, this isn't my job. Like, I did what I could, but I still kind of feel like I should have probably done more. But it was, yeah, so I got a free, I like that rug, it was nice. But I feel bad for the people who ordered it, because I if it was me, I would have been like furious, because I'm sure the company was like, we delivered it. So yeah, not my responsibility, but I still kind of feel I did what I could. But you know, I'm one of those people that overthinks everything and then ruminates on it for years.
That's wrong. You don't get into loops.
I don't get into loops.
Of course. Thank you for the advice.
I was just emphasizing.
I'm glad you were here to assist. Your other dealings with Everard are still of considerable interest to me.
I like how they're treating me like I'm just like a patient. like the parents are talking and then addressing the child now and then. My phone is blowing up.
The lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. I guess because I can't talk about the gun anymore. You want me to talk about the gun again? How many times do I loop about the gun? Should I loop on the gun? I don't want to make Kim get super upset, though. I'll let you vote. All right, I'm going to let everyone vote. Do we say Mr. Everett is helping me with my gun again, or do we talk about something else? I'll let you all vote. Feel free to cast your votes now. In Poland, it wouldn't fly. You have a pretty good customer protection laws. Oh, so you can't leave it unattended. Yeah, so that is like... looks like we might be in a loop. In Japan... I gotta do it without Kim. Oh my god. In Japan, there's a company that is very, very popular, and they typically are like, they must hand deliver it to you. Which, when I originally moved here, I was kind of annoyed about, because a lot of the stuff I was ordering, I was like, I don't care. Can I just mark something that says like, leave it at my door? Because sometimes with like UPS and stuff, you would get the sticker and you could just say like, leave it at my door. Like, it's okay. But this company does not give that option. But they make it very easy and convenient to schedule like an exact time frame for them to come back and try to redeliver it. And they're very good. It's like usually like 4-hour time frame, and they've always been within that 4 hours. There have been multiple times where they're like in the last 10 minutes of that 4 hours, but they are still within that 4 hours. So I've kind of now come to like it, because it's very like, okay, rest assured they will deliver it. But the first delivery sometimes especially from Amazon, you can't specify the time frame for some stuff. Like this camera, it wouldn't let me specify like an exact delivery time. They just said sometime today, which is looking less and less probable right now. But if they try to deliver it tomorrow and they don't get it, then they'll give me a note that lets me reschedule like a specific time. So that's probably what it's going to end up being, which sucks, because then it means I won't get it before Friday's stream, because I'm not going to be home enough. I'm going to be out of my house basically all day tomorrow, all day Thursday, and then all day Friday as well. So probably won't be till Saturday that I get it, if that's the case. That's what I was really hoping it would come today, but what can you do? The company you ordered the games from did the same. They said the company that delivered them marked them delivered, talked to them. Yeah, and you're like, how can I talk to them? There's no tracking. You had no idea who delivered them. Their response was not. That sucks. Yeah. I actually. Good luck, Chef Kitty. Have fun at the dentist. Try not to get too stressed. We'll be thinking of you. I'll be thinking of you at least. I guess I can't speak for everyone else, but yeah, I like the drop boxes. Those are, you can do that with these too. You can request it go to like a convenience store or something to pick up. And if I have issues, that's probably what I'll end up doing eventually. But for now, it's like, it's fine. Actually, Jogger, I had a situation. I think some of chat's probably heard this. I had a situation one time where a delivery company stole my couch. Like straight up stole it. And this company was also terrible. I had to work with them on other things because they're this giant logistics like delivery company. So they handle like a ton of stuff, especially in like the area where I used to live. And strange side story, I actually met one of their like managers, and I now understand like why a lot of my stuff was always going wrong. But anyway, yeah, I stole a couch. There's a small tangent as per usual. I ordered a couch. It was during my like early days. I wasn't making a ton of money, but I ordered a couch from IKEA, right? Or IKEA. And I mean, it wasn't like a super expensive couch, but it wasn't a super cheap couch. But I was just like, I need a couch. So I ordered it. And this would never happen if ever it was in charge. No, probably not. And so they were supposed to deliver it on a certain day. I stayed home that whole day. Like I took the day off to get this couch delivered. No one came. Like no phone call, nothing. Just no call, no show. And so I was like, what the fuck? I like took a day off work for this. Where the hell is my couch? And so then I start like trying to get it rescheduled or whatever. Finally, like get to somebody and they're like, we just need to reschedule the delivery. Like, sorry, we don't know what happened. Like, let's reschedule. So I rescheduled again. And I can't remember if I took off a day of work again or if I had it on a day that I had off already. But either way, I was like annoyed because now I was waiting for another whole day for this couch to come. And perhaps not that much of a spoiler alert, it didn't come. Again, no call, nothing. Like absolute dead silence. So at this point, I contact the company again and they're just like, oh, we show it delivered. It was delivered. And yeah, I was like, excuse me, but like, no, it wasn't. I've been here all day. No one delivered this. Like, what are you talking about? And they just kept saying like, no, yeah, we have it delivered. It's been delivered. And I was like, wow, that's not true. And I think now I'm thinking I'm ahead of myself. I think there was a period of time where they were like confused about the situation of the couch. Like they didn't immediately say it was delivered. Like it was clear that they like kind of didn't know what happened to this couch. Like they were like, oh, it's lost, hang on. But then like eventually they were like, oh, it's been delivered. But it seemed very like, this is like not the conclusion you should be getting. But anyway, so they were like, oh, you need to contact like the original company that sold it or you bought it from in order to sort this out. So I contacted IKEA and IKEA was like amazing. Like I didn't expect any customer service from them, but this lady was like so nice because at first it was almost like that loop, right? Where it was like, oh, contact them. I contact them. They say contact you. And so eventually this lady was like, well, let me call them. Like she genuinely called this company because she was like, this is weird. Like she was like, I'm getting weird vibes from like all of these answers. Everything they're saying is weird. Like, let me just call them. So then she called, like she puts me on hold and she calls them. And when she gets back on the line with me, she was like, I don't know how to tell you this. And by this point we had been on the phone for probably like 4 or 5 hours. So we were like, kind of like at that point we're like being a little more casual, like had kind of like a little more familiar with each other. But she was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but that company stole your couch. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. But But yeah, she was basically like, I don't remember the full gist of it, but she explained that like basically what they were saying didn't add up, and it basically amounted to like she was pretty sure it was just somewhere like in their warehouse. Like they just did not deliver it, just marked it delivered so they wouldn't have to deal with it, and they have the couch. And so they refunded my IKEA refunded my money fully, like no questions asked beyond that, because after 4 hours on the phone with this company, I think the lady figured it out. But yeah, I was just like, wow, okay. You're getting flashbacks, not delivery, but the house manager sent out emails to apartment residents about some routine maintenance thing. Respond with whatever time is good for you, 9 to 5 p.m. You wrote anytime is fine. So he showed up at 8 a.m. sharp. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 8 a.m. is anytime. I had that with my washing machine, I think. The washing machine from hell. One of the times they tried to deliver it, it was either that or the stove, I can't remember. They were supposed to come at like 11 a.m. and they called me, I think, at like 8 a.m. And I thought it was just them doing like, because they always call like ahead of time to say like, hey, just reminder, we're coming at this time to like deliver this machine. And you're like, yeah, I'm home. Like, just to confirm before they like trek all the way out there. And sometimes they're like, okay, we're this far away. Like, we'll expect us around this time. But yeah, these guys called me at 8 a.m. I had like just gotten out of the shower. I was like taking a chill morning. And these guys were like, hey, yeah, we're like the washing machine delivery for like Rusalka. And I was like, yep, that's me. Like, seeing you later, right? And they're like, yeah, we're about 10 minutes away. So, yeah, we'll see you then. And then just like hung up. And I was like, 10 minutes away. So then I was like frantically like my hair was wet. I was just like, oh my god. So they saw me in like true water demon form. But yeah, I was just like, okay, 8 a.m. is not 10 a.m. is not 11 a.m. But yeah. Yeah, a whole couch. Yeah, games though, that sucks too. Games, it's like, yeah, I would be annoyed. It's annoying when it's something you're really looking forward to. I mean, it's always annoying, but especially then. That's when it's like, it really like is a sucker punch. I guess we're doing a loop.
Oh. That's
The lieutenant looks at
we are
He's
genuinely doing a loop.
Unconventional police officer.
Okay.
incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
I guess I can just say no this time. No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else?
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Of course, detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat.
Honestly, to me, I did want to click it, but I just was like, I kind of want to see if it was going to open up any other information by clicking a different one. But yeah, 100% I wanted to click, just go in the same loop again.
Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
I guess that's everything for now, so thank you. Let's do a little quick save. Who do we talk to now, though? What are our tasks again? Where's the rest of the armor? Oh, yeah.